Uzo Aduba, Emmy Award winner, Orange is the New Black. Is Gold Derby your good luck charm? I mean, you did a hangout with us before the Critics' Choice and you won. You did a hangout with us before the Emmys and you won, and now before the Globes. I mean, it could be three.
I should just get it changed.
Yeah.
A GD chain. Like
a GD chain.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So how was that summer for you? It just seemed like a whirlwind. I mean, it's just like it started off with the nomination at the Critics, and then from then on, you were just all over the place, and you were winning all of these major awards. Did you let it sink in yet? I mean, it's been, like we just said, a few months, but has it all sunk in that you're now known forever as Emmy Award winner Uzo Aduba?
That is, like, honestly, that is crazy. Like, that is just legitimately crazy. No, I don't think it. I know it hasn't, because, like, sometimes like a friend of mine will say something, or like people come over and I'll be like, oh yeah, that's right, that happened. Like, not that I like forget it, but I don't think it's like seeped into the marrow of my being. It's still like on the surface. I only just maybe a month ago, because myself and Taylor, my castmate Taylor Schilling, we went to the White House Correspondents' Dinner in May, and that just a month ago hit me. Like, that really, like, came into my being, like, we went to the White House! I had the reaction, like, 6 months later, But no, it hasn't. It has not.
Wow, so like, I mean, you kind of answered it already, but in a year's time, so much has happened to you. But how have things really changed for you? How is your life different now than it was, say, a year ago when you hadn't won all these major awards and gone to the White House?
Oh, wow. Okay. How is life different now? Well, first of all, I get stopped a lot more on the street, that's for sure. That's a big difference. Well, I physically live in a different place now. I live in a different apartment, but
okay, that helps.
Yeah. I think artistically, I feel more, I guess, settled in the doing of the work more, because we now are so familiar with who these characters are, what this story is. And then professionally, it's definitely changed, just as far as, I guess, the things that I'm doing now and have been exposed to. That's been a certain change of events, and just not anything that I ever imagined happening. Just I never even thought about it beyond just the doing of it, and still don't. I try not to. I just try to stay right in the thing, But other than that, my life feels. I have a good core group of people around me that I stay very close to. My family and I were really, really close, and they're just like, get up and get us Ruffles, Uzo. Stuff like,
get on with it.
Yeah.
Now, a little bit more, I guess. Let's go into season 2. So you're going to be. The Globes are coming up, and if nominated, you will be no longer a guest actress, because now you've kind of made that transition into supporting actress.
Yeah.
So at season 2, we saw Suzanne Crazy Eyes Warren kind of cling on to Lorraine Toussaint's character on there, and kind of become her muscle, or her right hand woman. And you saw the progression of. Also, you had a flashback episode. We finally got to learn the backstory.
Mm-hmm.
You have a sister. Learn more about your family. And how was all of going from a few scenes in the first season to now having such a pivotal role in the second season? How was that transition for you? I mean, was it? Did you have any say in how Suzanne was going to progress, or were you just let Genji take care of all of that? She's done an awesome job already for me.
Yeah, I am an actor who comes from the world of trusting in the work and the material that's laid on the page. I think everything that you need to know can be found in the script itself. Maybe some additional, background research work can be done, but because that's the place that I live from, I trust Genji implicitly. I think she is a genius writer. I think her team of writers are absolutely fantastic. I think they know these characters equally as well, because we all started this journey together, and they were even had this vision. She had a vision in her mind long before my entry into it. So I do trust what she puts on the page, and I think that my investment in Suzanne is interpreting her well, bringing what is written to the on the page to life to the best of my ability. And I think that play, that collaboration between writer and actor, the artistry, that's where I think the good stuff comes from, not dictating, what it should be, because I can create whatever's in my mind, but I think it's more what I think Suzanne is, but I think what's interesting for me, or at least in creating roles, playing parts, what's interesting for me is taking someone's idea and trying to interpret it as best as I can. So Genji put that heart into it. That is Ms. Cohen all the way, the stories as far as the relationships between mother and daughter and bringing that backstory into life. And it was exciting being able to tell more story and really fill in some of the spaces that were existing for Suzanne.
Yeah, so as an actor, does that help you when you read a script with a backstory for Suzanne? Does that help you kind of either maybe shift your perspective or what you're gonna bring to her the rest of the season, or is it kind of a I guess in your case, you won an Emmy because you played this character so brilliantly. Is it just where it's already like, yes, I'm on the right track, and this is this is Suzanne, and I know all about her that I need to know?
I think it depends on what point in the road we're talking about. I think learning the backstory, absolutely. I think as much information as I can get about the character is always useful, whether it's in line with what I've been thinking or imagining and creating for myself, or not. I think it's always useful. It helps to really cement or pull together ideas that might have been floating. In the case of this backstory, I thought it was incredibly helpful learning where her beginnings are, because it really, like season 1, I found myself asking the question, how far would somebody go for love? That was my approach to how I related to Piper and how I felt that the dynamic of that relationship is. And then with season 2, I felt like I was really getting my answer, and I think it was being answered so thoroughly, or it was explained to me thoroughly, rather, when I saw those relationships from like early childhood for Suzanne. I got, oh, okay, so this is why someone yearns so deeply. This is why someone might do things and behave in a way that might cost them more than they're really even ready to give, or more than they'll ever get back. This is why someone would behave in such a way. And that was incredibly useful. I thought that was helpful. I thought that fortified how I wanted to explain her for the rest of the season.
And what you're saying is so true. As an audience member, I think it helps us to understand her, because for all of us, what happened in our childhood really makes us who we are as adults. And it was good to see where Suzanne was coming from. And that brings me to this question. I know it's been a while since you've shot season 2 and obviously season 1, because you've just wrapped season 3. But can you pinpoint a particularly challenging scene, or when you saw the script you thought, shit, this is going to be really difficult? Has it been that moment for you yet in playing this character?
Oh, no, yes, absolutely. One of the hardest scenes I found to shoot for season 2 was the bathroom scene with Poussey. No spoilers, but spoiler. She had she had to pummel her, and that was really hard. For a couple of reasons. It was hard because I know Suzanne, she acts and then thinks.
Yeah.
The aftermath of that felt very heavy on me because I know her and I knew she's going to do this thing essentially at the cost of herself, and because she's so desperate to please, to get the love of V, she's going to attack this person who's been really kind of great to her the whole season. You know, whenever there's people are kind of picking on her, Pusey kind of leaps in, or she's been trying to bosom buddy a little bit with Pusey. So I knew she was going to feel that really heavily afterwards, and so that was hard. And then it was just hard because I really love Samira Wiley, who plays Pusey, and I think she's a great actor, and it just hurt my heart. It really hurt my heart every time we would do that take. I just remember that was a very quiet day at work. We didn't, normally we'll cut and talk between, or we'll sing, or we'll tell jokes, or, work through the material. And because it was just so straightforward as to what was required, there was, from both of us, it was just a very quiet day. We would cut and just sit down, and you could feel our energies of apology, forgiveness being passed back and forth. It was amazing. Wow. Samira is amazing too. So.
And that just goes to show that although you're playing characters in a TV show, obviously the material can be quite heavy, and it would weigh on you, obviously. And that brings me to this question. You probably can't give us much, I know, but what can we expect? I know, but what can we expect for Suzanne and the show at large for season 3? Everyone knows that you guys wrapped just recently. Is there more really good stuff that we get to learn about your character?
Oh, yes. I will give you that. And oh, yeah. You can write, oh, yes, like
we will.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. We definitely, there's a lot of story there happening for not only Suzanne. We have story, but we have new characters that we introduce. I think it's really interesting. Genji's playing with this idea of faith and belief, and I can leave it there because that's a word that can be interpreted in so many different ways. And the thing that I learned this season was Gingy she's a really smart lady. Like, she's a genius. I think she's a genius. I do. And she's just so smart and so swift. And watching this season come together, I realized, oh my gosh, like, there is a greater story that she has been meaning to tell since the beginning, like the very beginning. And
wow,
that's really cool when you think about it, because it's like you go back and then you like start rereading the stories, like, oh my god,
is that why I did that?
Yeah, it's that. There's just a, it just makes you want to be inside that head, because it's really kind of amazing. A thorough storytelling, a real thorough and smart way of storytelling.
So you're basically saying that when season 3 comes out, after you're done, everybody's going to have to go back and watch season 1 and 2 and see how everything.
You're going to want to. I'm just
just putting it out there. Yeah.
She's amazing. It's really like, yeah, they are great. She is great. She's super talented. It's cool. It's pretty cool.
And back to a little backtrack to Rob's point about the audience. How was it for you when you were, when Suzanne and V, their connection that they had, and to you, or to Suzanne, it seemed like it was everything that was great and pure, and she loved V. But when, as an audience, we're watching and we're saying, no, V's really just trying to screw you over or make you, the fallout guy. And then at the end, she, not a spoiler, it's been out, people can watch it, so not a spoiler, but at the end, she kind of tried to screw Suzanne over and blame, the beating on uh, on, or not on you personally, on Uzo, but on Crazy Eyes yourself. So how hard was it for you to kind of know what was happening to Suzanne and still play that, play the loving, because all Suzanne seems like she wants is just love, and she wants to love. And so to play that while knowing exactly what was happening.
That was hard. I'm not gonna lie, because the thing that this was an exercise in standing by a choice that I would never choose. That was like a hard exercise as an actor. Sometimes you're watching someone. It's like watching a friend in a relationship, and she should not be with him, but it's like there's no stopping that train. They just got to kind of learn it for themselves. And I love her so much, and I know that she all she wants is love. It was really challenging, but what became my responsibility was I had to take myself out of it and be like, okay, I would not choose this necessarily. I see where this road is snaking towards, but I have to take my own judgments and my own thoughts about the matter and shelve them. And I need to put them over here, and I have to exist from a place of hope. I have to hope that what I think is coming is not coming. Because the thing is, Suzanne's not a dumb girl. And it's not that she's seeing necessarily right away what it is that B is doing, but because she's never wanted love. There's no reason for her to keep pursuing it. But she hopes, her belief and her faith, her belief is just so strong. She puts it in other people so often that she just hopes it works out. So I kind of was operating from that place of just hopefulness, and putting that faith in B to do the right thing by her. She doesn't, but we try. We try.
I'm going to change direction now because I think we need to ask some very hard-hitting questions about winning awards. So let's do that. We're an awards website, yeah, so we talk about awards all the time. Okay. And awards mean a lot of things to different people. They validate you professionally. They allow you to get more work. They boost your profile, and they feel good and blah, blah, blah. But I'm curious to know from you, given your meteoric rise, you've won everything so far, and the Golden Globes and SAGs are coming up, what do awards mean to you personally?
That's a good question. What do awards mean to me? I mean, I was very grateful. Like, that's the only word I can really think to say. I feel like I keep saying it, but I can't think of a better one. Yeah. I just feel very grateful because it's not ever been, or was never, a part of my approach, I guess, to the work, So when you're recognized in such a way, it's very humbling, and I think surprising. I don't know if the other people aren't surprised, but I found it very surprising. Yeah, it's just very humbling. It's very humbling. And then when it happens, it's just kind of, you just feel grateful. I think it's again surprising. Like, is this really happening? I think this is really happening. I think they said my name. Maybe there's another Uzo. Like, that's the I'm going through for a second. But like, but then like, you're just really grateful. You're just really grateful. And that's all I can think to say. I just feel very grateful. I feel humbled and grateful by the whole thing. And I want to leave it there. Like, I don't want it to extend into, anything else other than that. Just that.
And take us back to the day that you won, because I don't know if you've watched footage of your win, but you were, I'll just say you were pretty happy. And, it was a really great moment. And I've got to say, personally, for Ralph and I, we were really validated. We were like, Uzo Aduba was going to win that award. And we were arguing with people. And damn it, when you won that award, I was like, yeah, yes, thank you, validation. But you won. And take us back to the day, because the Emmy is a very prestigious award bestowed by your peers. And you've already talked about how you're grateful and humbled, but just take us back to the experience. What's it like? You know, some of us don't get to experience that kind of thing. What were you doing? Were you just sitting in the crowd and just heard your name, and what happened? Take us through that moment.
Okay, I will. So we sit down, you know, you're in your seats, and all of us, I will give you the play-by-play. So it's like, because I from that perspective. It's like you're sitting there minding your own business, and then like out comes Morgan Freeman, God, and you're like, oh my gosh, is this really happening? And then that was when I started getting nervous. I was like, Morgan Freeman. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, this is crazy. And then he said my name. I was like, I just couldn't believe it. All I remember is he said my name, and my mom, who was sitting next to me on this side, she went, Miles! And was like laughing. I haven't watched it. And, you know, my family's from Nigeria. And she hugged me, you guys, so tightly. And it was like, I know I'm supposed to get up on that stage, but like she hugged me so tightly, I didn't want to get up. Like I did not want to get up.
No, why would you? Just want to stay in that moment.
Yeah, exactly. Like she was just hugging me. She's like, I'm so happy for you. And I just kept saying like, I love you so much. I love you so much. Cause like, not to take up all our time, but like that lady, I love that lady, like more than anything. She has like done everything and anything you could imagine. If you knew this woman's life story, you wouldn't even believe it. Like, just to make this opportunity happen for her kids. So, like, I just didn't want to get up. But then it's like, but God is on the stage.
waiting for you.
Bruce Almighty. Like, it's like, what is happening? You know? And you just get up and you go up there, and it feels out of body. That's how it felt for me. Like, maybe, I don't know if that's how other people say, but it felt like it did not feel real. I knew it was real, but I didn't know it was real. Like, that's the thing. And you just, I don't know, you just start talking, and I thank God that I am an actor, I can use words, and like, I didn't start speaking another language or something, but it was just surreal. You're just trying to remember everybody and just thank everybody, because, you know, especially on our show, like, truth be told, it is not a one-man band. Do you know? It really does take every single person, you know? And I felt that feeling, and I knew I wanted to say, like, thank you to as many people, and just for like, everybody to know how grateful I am for everything that they've done, you know? That's the feeling. And pretty much any picture you see thereafter, because I've seen quite a few, I've had them sent to me, and it's like, I'm like, yep, that pretty much sums up, like, what was happening, because my face was like,
yeah.
Most of that, I was like, I can't believe it. You know?
Deliriously happy.
Yeah.
Well, you must have been. I mean,
That's
to
nice.
share that kind of experience with, I mean, your mother and your sister was there too, from what I remember.
Yes.
You know, that big night, but then also to the shout out that you gave to like Jen Houston, who won that night, who was great in casting, and then Natasha, Lyonne, and Laverne Cox there by your side, and it seemed like you three were always with each other at every one of these shows, the big events. So that must have just been just an onslaught of just awesomeness from your perspective.
No, that's exactly right. Like, that's the feeling. Like, it's like you see Jen Houston there, and like, you know, you're like, thank you for just bringing me in the room. You know what I mean? For coming to see a play that I was in, and wanting me to come in to read for this part. You know what I mean? Like, just moments like that, or you want to thank, you know, I just was Genji, who just, you know, it's like, there isn't a word that fills up enough how grateful I am for the change she has affected in my life as an artist, as a human being. Like, there's just none that exists. And then you see your castmates, and it's like Natasha and Laverne are sitting there, and like you said, it's like, we've been going together, you know, this whole thing, and like, we are a team, Team Orange, go Team Orange. And like, we really do have that, love and affinity for each other. And it's like, I saw them, but like through them, I felt like I could see like all 105 of us, that like put in that work day in, day out, and really are truly invested in telling the best story that we can. So, yeah, I'm grateful, just grateful.
We might wrap it up, but Ralph, have you got any final questions for Uzo before we bid adieu?
Yeah, our one of our editors, Marcus Dixon, he wanted me to ask, how did the SNL thing come about? Well, I saw you on the CBS Woody Harrelson kind of face lick skit that you had there. How did that even come? And would you ever host?
First of all, my dream is to host. Absolutely. One of my dreams is to host. Absolutely. Yeah. And that would be awesome. I mean, those guys are so smart. They're funny. Everybody's hilarious on that show. And so nice. And, like, the hours that they work, it's incredible. We went and we did that at 1 in the morning. We taped it because I had to be at a thing earlier that day, this non-for-profit that I was with. And everybody was just energy on, so nice, so welcoming. Woody Harrelson is amazing. He is, as we know, like, he's just fantastic and so open. I love open people. He was just ready for anything and willing to play and just could deliver things himself. But yeah, we just got a phone call that they wanted me to come in and do something, and I love SNL. I have so many of their best of DVDs, so I was like, absolutely. I'm obsessed with SNL. That's no problem. Truly obsessed. So yeah, I was just glad to be a part of it, and they were open to play as well. And that lick, like I said, I'm very grateful that Woody let me play some things on him. He just asked me to kiss him, and I said, well, you ask and I will. So this is how I would kiss him.
Here it comes. Yeah. Nice. All right. Well, I think we should probably say goodbye. Thank you very much for joining us today, Uzo. It's been a pleasure as usual, and congrats on your Emmy win and all your other wins, and good luck for the upcoming award season. Obviously, Team Uzo is behind you, and we hope you have a good time.
I had a great time. Thank you so much for having me, you guys.
Yeah, and real quick, your Team Orange O, that's a lot like Team Oregon Ducks. Uzo.
What did you say? It's like a lot of Team what?
Oregon Ducks.
I know.
That's what we do.
I knew you were kidding.
Oh, no, don't get him started on the Ducks.
I want to hear about Oregon. Let's love for both. We'll throw love to both.
I'm all good with that. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too.